Kind of an extended interview because there's been a lot happening. In fact, there's only been stuff happening involving the Nottingham Panthers on deadline day in the Elite League. At least that's the announcement so far. Not one, but two new defencemen for the GMB Nottingham Panthers. Panthers Radio with Dynamics caught up with coach Corey Neilson, and he spoke about the arrival of Franklin McDonald. But since then, Kevin Quick, who was a standout defenceman with Dundee Stars last year, has also put pen to paper for the GMB Nottingham Panthers. And on the back of those two arrivals, Paul Swindlehurst, the GB international, is moving on loan to the Manchester Storm. Corey, your thinking yesterday was we're beefing up the back line and that strengthens the team. Evan Mosey might be able to go forward. Now, obviously, Evan Mosey can go forward because not one, but two defencemen came in. I mean, this is just reward for all the work you put in trying to find a player for the GMB.
Yeah, it's been a long, hard slug trying to find these guys, and we're happy with what we got. Obviously, Kevin coming in, he's a guy that we really rated last year in Dundee. Every time we dumped the puck in his corner, he was the guy who's coming out with it. He's so escapable on those pucks, and he skates the puck up well. He's got great feet, and I was really impressed. Strack and I rated him as an all-star. We voted him for the all-star team last year, and we just think seems like a great kid. He's excited to come here. When I called him, it was a matter of hours before we had him done, sealed, and off here.
All the paperwork's done, everything's in place for both him and Franklin McDonald. And one thing we didn't even touch on with Franklin McDonald yesterday in the radio interview is the fact that he actually won Making the Cut, the reality show that meant he flirted with the NHL.
Yeah, I think Tessier was on that too, and some of those guys, Dickinson. But that was an interesting program. If you ever had a chance to see it, it was pretty. And there were a lot of gifted hockey players who ended up going in there, and they monitored these kids as they went through their stuff and saw how they developed. But yeah, everything I hear about Franklin is great. He skates well. I mean, the agents and some of the reports got back say he's a beautiful skater. And at this level, if your D can skate. And that was the whole concept by it. Our transition, I find, with all our right shot D playing the left side, it was tougher for our forwards to get the puck in good positions. It just takes a little bit more time mechanically to get the puck here, to get it to there, to get it up there where it's supposed to be. And with the left shot, the angles and everything changed a little bit. And we think, you know what, we lost Langer, a gifted offensive player, which took away from our offense, but we think this is going to more than create for that lack of maybe scoring punch by getting the puck to our forwards in good positions. Not to mention the fact that we're putting arguably the fastest player in the entire league up on front. He's ferocious physically, he hits, and he just terrifies the opposition D. So yeah, I'm happy. It was a lot of work, but where we're at, I'm pretty satisfied.
Hard work always reaps its just rewards. It's not so much a blip or a downside, but Paul Swindlehurst now goes on loan to Manchester, where he's guaranteed a lot more game ice time than he was going to get in this current lineup as we chase honours and try to reward the big army of fans who normally sit here in this arena. I mean, there's normally fans here when the Panthers are down on the ice, and we're in one of the less popular blocks. But the fan base has been fantastic this year. Two new stars for them to look at this weekend. The two new guys are due to fly in first thing Wednesday, might be in the lineup at Coventry, but should be making home debuts this weekend when we play Coventry on Sunday ahead of the charity auction. But Swin's going to Manchester. We're going to keep a close eye on him.
Absolutely. He's one to watch for the future. Prototypically, he is just a big unit. He's 6'4", he skates well, he's strong. And, there's a couple of things that, he needs to work on. As he came from Dundee, basically, we've got a really raw hockey player, raw talent, and a guy who needed to be coached and worked with and developed. And, we've put a lot of time into him. He's developing. He's got a lot of things he needs to work on, which now he knows. And we're giving him an opportunity to go play valuable minutes, a non-pressure club. And that's something that, young kids have to learn how to deal with. And he'll go there. He'll play some minutes. He'll get some different situations that he wouldn't have got here. He doesn't kill a lot of penalties. Doesn't play power play. He might get those looks there. And it's something that, a kid like him, who we believe in, and who I personally feel has a great opportunity to be a dominant player, not just a dominant Brit, a dominant player, just because of his physical attributes. If he goes there and works on the stuff we have, there's no reason why he's not going to be back here, whether it be next year or the year after. We really like him, and we're really committed to him. That's why we put this in place.
One last question in a nutshell. Every game's a cup final now. With the arrival of McDonald and Quick, are the Panthers equipped to deal with those cup finals?
Well, we had a great meeting this morning with the players, and there's I think the word I'm using the spin word as a sense of urgency. There has to be a sense of urgency. We know where we're at, and a lot of people are kind of putting us on the back burner for a league championship. But you know what? We're 8 points behind Cardiff. We play them twice. We've got 2 games at hand. Simple math for me means we're right there, and they're playing. They're going to play some good teams coming up, and you never know in this league what's going on. We got all these games coming up. Wonderful opportunity to our fans enjoy cup finals and things like that, and I think that all in all, it's up. We've got an extra import. The club has invested tremendously into making this hockey team, my hockey team, better, and that sense of urgency is going to spill down into guys looking over the shoulders, understanding that, hey, if you're not going, it's no second chances. You're not going, you're out. Someone else will take your spot, and then you'll wait until the next guy's coming out. Obviously, guys are going pretty well right now, but I think that when you have that little sharpness, that little push, our years before, when we had our league championship, we had David Beauregard sitting there, super David Beauregard sitting there in the wings, ready to take someone's job, and everyone knew, I got to go. I got to be gone tonight, and that whole sense of urgency coming back, and accountability, and it spilled over in today's training session. They were sharp and they're ready to go.
Wish you well.
Thank you.